Hi everyone, welcome back to Get Your Play Online. I'm Hannah, and today we will be doing some more yoga poses for Get Moving. So today is the very first day of the storybook themed week. So I hope you joined us for the rest of the summer, but if not, welcome. And this is the Get Moving session. So I've done some yoga before on this channel, but this time we'll be doing some of the basic poses based off of childhood stories or Disney movies or characters. There's some princesses and maybe some animals, all different kinds of stories. So we are going to do it similarly to how we've done it before. I cut them up and place them in the bowl, and we'll pick them one by one, and then we will learn how to do them. Except for two, I chose the very first one that we'll start with and the very last one that we will end with. But other than that, we will pick from the bowl and learn how to do some basic yoga poses. So if you don't know what yoga is, it is a type of exercise that includes stretching and relaxation and many meditation techniques. So many people participate in yoga, and it's a way to build strength while also finding your center and being grounded. So we will be doing just some basic poses. Some may be challenging, some may be easier for you. No matter your ability or activity level, you can choose which ones you'd like to learn or which ones you might need to work on a little bit more. Either way is perfectly fine. So what you will need is, if you have a mat or a towel, something like that, you can lay down, just like I have my blue mat here. And then I just have some water, just in case. And I am barefoot, but if you choose to wear socks, that's great too, but I would recommend no shoes. It's nice to feel the ground and be able to really sink into your feet during yoga, so I would recommend either going barefoot or wearing socks if you prefer. So with that, we can get started, and I hope you enjoy a little bit of Get Moving on Sunday. So the first pose that we're going to do is, of course, from Aladdin. We will be pretending as though our mat is a magic carpet. So what you will do is find a nice comfortable spot to put your mat down and just take a seat. You can take a seat in the center or on top of your mat, very tip top. And we'll just be sitting crisscross applesauce to start. So, if you'd like, you can close your eyes and just imagine that you're on your magic carpet, and this mat is going to take you to wherever you want to go. So, we'll just start, and you want your legs to be crisscross applesauce, and you really want to find your seat bones. So where you can feel that you're comfortably sitting, your back is going to be up straight and your arms just out to the side, maybe resting over your knees. And from here, we're just going to rock back and forth as though your magic carpet is swaying from side to side in the air. So if you want, you can pretend which destination you're going to, but you can really feel your body, that shift back and forth, and it should feel pretty good. If you're sitting up straight, nothing should hurt, nothing should be too uncomfortable, but you just really want to feel the mat and feel the ground. So that is our Aladdin magic carpet rides. That I thought was a good one to start with. So it's just really easy. You can take some breaths here. And just imagine like you're going somewhere just like Aladdin. So that was our first pose, and you're going to pretend that it was your magic carpet. So now that we've done the first one that I wanted to choose, now we can pick from the bowl. So exciting. See which our next story will be from. And okay, so the next one is Tarzan. So for Tarzan, if you remember the story, he likes to swing in the forest. So I've chosen the tree pose. And this one might be a little bit more challenging, but what you're going to do is find either the center of your mat, and you're going to stand either to the side or to the front. I'm going to move back a little so you can see. And then you're going to take one of your legs and put it right next to your knee, just like this. And if you can't balance, that's okay, but you just want to make sure it's in a comfortable spot. And you're going to lift your arms up, and they can either rest here or above your head, either one. And then this is just like the tree pose. So you imagine that you're Tarzan swinging from the trees. And then you can switch to the other leg if you feel comfortable. So first you want to make sure your balance is shifted. And then you can bring your arms up. And take some breaths here. And just imagine that you are a tree that Tarzan is swinging from. And that is our tree pose. So the basics of it are just you want to make sure your weight is stabilized on one side and your other leg is resting nicely either above your knee or a little bit below your knee, wherever you feel comfortable. And that is our tree pose for Tarzan. So that one can be a little bit challenging if you need help with your balance, but you can work on it. And we'll do our next one. We got quite a lot here. Okay, so the next one is a newer story. We're going to be taking it to the water, Princess Moana. So we will be doing the boat pose. So this one, we're gonna have to take a seat on our mat again. And what you're going to do is you're gonna pretend that the outside is water, and we're going to create a sort of boat with our body. So the first thing that you're going to do is make sure you engage your core. So make sure you engage your stomach muscles, and you're going to lift your feet up right into the air next to each other, just like this. And they should be connected, just like they're squeezing together, and you're lifting them up. So in order to do that, you need to rock back into your hips and lift your feet up. And for now, if that's hard enough, that's perfectly fine. You can leave your hands on either side of your legs and push down in order to help your legs stay where they are. But if you'd like to take the boat pose a step further, you can make sure you fall back and then lift your legs up and then pick your arms up to rest right next to them. And you might feel your body shaking a little. That's perfectly fine. Just squeeze in and hold your core. So we're going to hold that for a few seconds, no matter if your arms are on the ground or in the air hovering. But this is our Moana boat pose. So if you're here and you're like, I'm killing it, I'm doing great, I can hold this, then we're going to take it even a step further and try and row from side to side, just like we see Moana doing in the movie. So you're going to fall back, lift your legs up, pick your arms up. You can row slow, or you can row quick, 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 quick. And that is our boat pose, just like Moana in the movie. So you can imagine that all around you is water, and you're rowing through the dark, deep waters. So that is our Moana boat pose. So that one might be challenging for some if you need help holding your core. But that is one to also work on. All right, what's going to be next? Next we have a simpler one. And this one is going to be from Finding Nemo. So it's going to be the star pose. So we're going to take a step on our mat, and we're going to have our legs be wide. So we're going to be just like the starfish in Finding Nemo. And if you know his name, it's Peach, and it's a bright pink-orange starfish. So we're going to pretend that we are starfish in the little fishbowl with Nemo. So your legs are going to be wide, reaching into the ground, reaching into the mat, and then you're going to lift your arms up to either side, pulling away from each side. Lift, 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 and pull away. And then down, and then lift, and reach out, out, out. And the spokes out of your legs should be also reaching out, out, out. So really extend and reach out. And your head should also be reaching towards the sky, just like a starfish. And then down and release. And you can keep repeating that, and then down, and keep repeating that. But you want to make sure you're really lengthening into the ground, lengthening into the sky, and then release. So that's one of our easier ones. If you like that one, that's the Nemo one, the starfish from Nemo. Okay, what's our next one? Okay, this one is back in the water. We're doing Lilo and Stitch. So this pose will be the surfing pose. So we're going to pretend we're surfing in the waters, just like Lilo and Stitch. And we're going to take our feet a little bit wider. And we're going to take a little bend in our knees. So not quite straight and not quite all the way down, but just a little bit bent. And then we're going to raise our arms up. They can be a little bit down or a little bit higher. I like mine right here. And we're going to rock back and forth, bending each leg more or less. And what does that look like? It looks like we're surfing, just like Lilo and Stitch. So you're going to pretend that your mat is your board and you're surfing in the water. And really make sure, in order to this be a useful strengthening pose, we're really going to take a bend in each of those legs. So one should be straight, one should be bent, and then we switch. And we're just like Lilo and Stitch, surfing on the water. So you really want to make sure you engage your core as well, so that we're not all loosey-goosey. We're keeping our whole torso upright as we do this. Perfect, so that's the surfing pose. Let's see what's next. What storybook do you think? Ooh, the next one comes from 101 Dalmatians. So we're going to do a pretty popular yoga pose. We're going to do downward dog. So if you've ever taken yoga before, you may remember this one. But our legs are going to be right under us. And you're going to find the edge of your mat. And you're going to come down into a fold. And then you're going to walk your arms out. And once you're here, your arms are separated by your shoulders and your legs are at the back of your mat. You're going to push back into your hips and look back towards the back wall. So you don't want to be like this. You want to be facing the back wall. You can take some bends and plies in your downward dog. But your arms, you want your arms to be straight in front of you. And you're looking towards the back wall with all of your focus. And we're doing downward dog just like the 101 Dalmatians. And this is a great stretch for the back of your legs. So that's a really popular yoga pose that you'll see many of times if you ever take a class. But it's really a lengthening and strengthening exercise. So that's a really great one. And it almost looks like you're a dog. So that was a good basic one to do as well. The next one. Ooh, this one might be a little bit challenging. This one is from Brave, and we're going to do the arrow pose. So I sometimes have some trouble with this one, but we're going to do our best we can because that's all we can do. So we're going to face the side, not the front. You're not going to go on it lengthways, but this way you're going to face the side, and you're going to once again stabilize on one leg. So you're going to pick one leg to be your designated straight leg, and the other one you're gonna lift towards the back. And if you can, if not, it's okay. But if you can, you're gonna hold on to that leg. So you're gonna hold on to the back foot, just like this to start. So you're standing on one leg, balancing, and holding the other leg of your choice. And then what you're gonna do is, since we're going to shoot an arrow just like in Brave, we're going to lean forward and have our leg come up behind us with our arm holding it, with our hand holding it. So I'll show you what it's going to look like, and then I will explain a little bit more. So this is the arrow pose, and you can lean more forward. See, even then, you might have trouble balancing, but you just got to start over and then go into it. And then you can do the other side, hold the back leg, the opposite leg, and lean forward. And you might struggle from side to side, but no matter what, you just return to the front and you try again. Just like this, the arrow pose. So it's kind of looking like a little bit of an arrow. So you want to pretend like you are that arrow shooting through the sky. So you just pick which leg you would like to work on. You hold the back foot, lean forward, and put your front arm out in front of you. And then focus, and you can take a little bit of bend in that front leg. And that's what it looks like. So that one might be a little bit difficult, but no worries, you can work on it, and that is one that comes later in yoga, I would say. So we'll do another one. This one's good. Okay, this one is from The Incredibles. So we're going to be doing the happy baby pose. And if you've ever seen The Incredibles, you'll know that Jack is one of the kids in the family, and he's a baby in the first movie. So what we're going to do is sit on our mat. You can face either way, and we're going to be doing the happy baby pose. And it's supposed to look like a little happy baby. So we're going to hold on. We're going to lay on our back and hold on to our feet and just rock back and forth. So this is what it looks like. You're going to lay on your back and hold the tips of your feet and rock forward and back. And maybe you've seen babies do this before, but it's a great exercise for your back and for your strengthening, and used many of times in yoga. So we're going to pretend like we're Jack in The Incredibles, and that is the happy baby pose. And there's really no wrong or right way to do it. You just want to hold the tips of your feet and rock back and forth. So that one is a little bit of a simpler one. And now we'll get back to see what the next one is. Ah, yay! Another princess. So we have Princess Ariel, and you'll never guess what pose it is. The mermaid pose. So we're gonna lie on our mat on our stomach. So you want to put your arms in front of you. We're going to lie on our stomach like this, and then we're going to lift up and arch our back, and our legs are down on the ground, and you really want to push forward. You don't want your shoulders all the way up here, but you want to push them down and really lengthen. You can look up or look in front of you, and this is supposed to be just like Ariel when she's on the rock singing. So this is called the mermaid pose. You can really lengthen, fall back down, go again, push up, and lengthen, twist from side to side, and you're looking like Princess Ariel. Perfect. So you could feel this in your back a little bit. If it feels uncomfortable or anything, you can come down to your arms like this, so you're not all the way arched, but this is the full mermaid pose. It should feel great in your back, and then you just fall down and come back up. So that is the original mermaid pose, which is perfect for storybook theme. All right, what will be our next one? Bug's Life. Okay, this is going to be the bug pose. Who would have thought? So the bug pose is relatively simple. We're going to take our two hands, and place them right under our shoulders, right in front of us. And then you're going to come to your all fours, just like this. And you're going to lift your knees up, just like this. Ta-da! Just like that. You're going to lift your knees up, and you're pretending like you're a little bug. So your hands are right under your shoulders, and you just lift up like this. And something that is really important about the bug pose is that you hold your core. So it's easy to let your back droop down as you hold this, but that can be really damaging to your back. So you really want to hold in front of you, your arms, and make sure your core is supported, and you push up and hold, 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 hold. And you're looking just like a bug in Bug's Life. So if you want to take it a step further, you can walk back and forth on your mat like a little insect. Back and forth, alternate your arms and your little feet. And then take it right back. And make sure you're holding your core. So that's the bug pose. Let's see what we have next. Ooh, Princess Tiana, another princess. So we're going to do the frog pose because Princess Tiana is the princess and the frog. So we're going to be another one where we're going to be on our mat seated. And you might know how to do this, even not from yoga. But you're going to take either foot to the side, and then you're going to make sure your legs are parted either side, and put your arms in front of you. And you can hold yourself in front of you. If you don't need your arms, that's perfectly fine. You can put them behind you if you need, wherever you need, but we're pretending to be the frog in Princess and the Frog. So if you've ever seen the movie or heard the story Princess and the Frog, Princess Tiana is in it, and we're pretending to be the frog. So if you want to make some frog noises, you're more than welcome to. But this is a really great stretch for your hips, for your legs, and your feet as well. So you really want your feet to be pointing outward, not inward. So you don't want your feet pointing inward. That's really bad for your knees. So we want our feet pointed outward. We're sitting propped up, just like this. And there you have the frog pose. So let's pick our next one. Ooh, this is a very classic yoga pose. We're doing Princess Mulan. So we're going to be doing the warrior pose because she is the ultimate princess warrior. So we're going to take our step on our mat, and your front foot is going to be facing the front wall. And your opposite foot, the one in back, is going to be facing the wall in front of you. So they're not facing the same way. One's facing one way and the other is facing forward. So just like that, your torso is going to be facing just like your back leg in front of you. And you're going to take a slight bend in your front knee, and you're going to lift your arms up. And this is warrior pose. So the deeper you go in that front lunge, you might feel more strength. You can pick it up, down. But this is the warrior pose, and you feel really strong, just like Mulan. And then we're going to take it to the other side. So you want to switch the way your feet are going. The back one faces the wall, and the front one faces the side. And pick your arms up. Bend in your front foot, and the back one should be straight, and you can really feel that. So that's your warrior pose, and that is used in a lot of yoga practice classes. So that's for Princess Mulan. All right, what's our next one? Peter Pan. Okay, this is perfect for storybook. So we're going to be on our stomach, on our mat. So we're going to take our body to the bottom of the mat, and we're going to put our arms out in front of us. And if you can guess what we're going to do, we're going to pretend to fly over Neverland, just like Peter Pan. So we're going to take our arms and our legs, and we're going to lift them off the mat. So everything should be relaxed on the ground, and we're going to lift off. And you can feel in your back and in your core, you can feel yourself holding yourself up and then down. And if you really feel like you're feeling good in this Peter Pan pose, you can lift up and go side to side and really imagine yourself going over Neverland. And then down. And then up. And do it again. And then down. And that is the Peter Pan flying pose. So that's a perfect one that goes perfect with yoga because we do that a lot in yoga practice classes because it strengthens your back and your core. I think we have a few more. Ooh, okay, this one is from The Lion King. So we're going to do our regular cat-cow pose, except the cat is going to be a lion. So what you're going to do is have your knees right under your hips on the mat and your hands right under your shoulders. So you're on your all fours and you're going to breathe in when you do this pose and then out when you do the cat pose. And if you want, you can add some roars just like a lion and pretend like you're in the Lion King movie. So breathe in and breathe out and roar. Breathe in and out when you do your cat pose. And this time the cat is not a little kitty, but a big lion. So roar. And you can feel your back extending and contracting. And this should feel very comfortable, not painful at all. So take a few more and roar. And then that is our Lion King practice pose. All right, what's next? Okay, so we have our chair pose. And this comes from Beauty and the Beast. We're going to pretend like we're the candlesticks coming to life. So if you've seen Beauty and the Beast, some of the decor in the house comes to life. So we're going to pretend we're the candlesticks. So what we're going to do is take our chair pose. So we're going to take our feet on the mat. They're going to be hips width apart, right under your hips, not too far wide, not right next to each other, but a little bit out. And what you're going to do is take a seat, almost like you're taking a seat in a chair. That's why it's called chair pose. So you're going to go back into your legs and take a real nice bend, and then you're going to lift your arms up to the top. And if you can't, if you just want to lift them in front of you, that's perfectly fine. But if you can, you want to lift them up to the top. And then what we're going to do is take a nice deep bend and then lift up. So you're pretending that your arms are the two candlesticks in Beauty and the Beast, and you come to life. And then down and come to life. And the chair pose is an extremely popular pose used in yoga, but you really want to take a seat deep into your chair and then bring it up and down and up and down. And those are the candlesticks from Beauty and the Beast coming to life. All right, what's our next one? Our very last one. Well, I have one more saved for us to end with, but we're going to do Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story. So this is going to be a little bit of a balancing pose. So take a step onto your mat. And what you're going to do is they're once again going to be hip width apart, and you're going to take one arm to the side. You know, he stands like this, Buzz Lightyear, to infinity and beyond. So we're going to take one to our hip, and one up to the sky. And then we're going to take one foot and you're going to stabilize and balance on one foot once again. So this is a balancing pose. We're going to lean forward like you're flying through the sky to infinity and beyond. And then we can switch it to the other side, pick the other foot up, and lean over to infinity and beyond. So that one is really good for balancing. And we want to make sure our hand is secure on our hip, our arm is up, and they should be alternating. So you don't want the same arm in front as leg. You want it to be the opposite so that you can really counterbalance that and make sure you can stabilize. And then you can do the other side. So that is our Buzz Lightyear pose. Okay, and then our very last one, which I wanted to end with, because it is always how we end yoga practices, to really find our relaxation, take a moment and ground into the space. We are going to do Sleeping Beauty. And how else would we do Sleeping Beauty besides laying down on our mat with our palms facing up and our eyes can be closed, and you want to take some deep breaths. You just want to feel your shoulders and your body falling into the mat, and you pretend like you're sleeping peacefully, just like Sleeping Beauty. So this will be our final pose. You can look up into the ceiling or close your eyes and make sure your palms are facing up so you're really connecting with the space and feeling your body fall into the ground. And this moment at the end of yoga, you always want to take a moment and find the space, and that is a really grounding pose to make sure you're meditating and feeling your breath and relaxed at the end of the session. So those are all of our storybook, princess, Disney poses. So I hope you learned a little bit about yoga and were able to practice some of them. And if you need anything, you can just rewind and rewatch and practice more of them if you need. And these are just a few that are commonly used in yoga, but they have their own special spin on them. So I hope you were able to get moving on this Sunday with me, and I hope to see you next week. Thanks for joining. Bye.